This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live for Reflections. I know it's a little late. I know it's probably the next day for a lot of you guys, but I had to get the reflections on to reflect what we saw last night. We had a great turnout. I appreciate each and every person that came through. I'm not going to be long. I just want to talk and review what happened yesterday. Okay. Had some good fights, believe it or not. PBC, the zone, as rare as that is these days, which, it just goes to show you, you stay long enough, you see your enemies float by the creek, right? If you hang by the river. So you look at it like that. But no, I enjoyed the card. I absolutely enjoyed the card all the way, 100%. Either like Rolly probably was the missing link because that went the distance, but so did the main event. Canelo Alvarez did get a knockdown. Okay, he did show his power, his dominance, his speed, his experience, and a lot of other stuff. I do appreciate it. Hold on just a second, guys. Hold on just a second. So, no, last night was lit. Last night was legit. Okay. I enjoyed it, man. I'm really more impressed with the Cold War that we're seeing between Canelo Alvarez and a possible fight with Edislandi Lara. A lot of people talk about David Benavidez. David Benavidez. Okay. Let me tell you something about David. David Benavidez is at 175 now. He is in tight with Turkey Al-Sheikh. What does that mean? Yes, should you be pissed off at Canelo? Sure you should. Did he duck David Benavidez? Sure he did. You bet he did. But then what? We also know about, and what we should learn about Canelo Alvarez, which is something that he will never tell us, he's getting old. He's tired of fighting these guys that are the clear and present danger of the division. He's tired of that. He ain't going to tell you that. Canelo's not going to tell you that. Canelo's going to tell you this, and I'm paraphrasing. Canelo's going to say, I can do whatever I want, and I am the best fighter in the world. That's what he's going to tell you. That's all he's going to tell you. He's not going to tell you that, hey, I want 200 million for a guy like that because I know he's bloody dangerous. You know what I mean? I want 150 million to fight Terence Crawford because he moves too much and he might outbox me. Those are the things that you need to understand about Canelo. He's not going to say those things. However, I don't think he's supposed to, based on his fan base, based on, his overall bravado and his overall, reputation. He's not going to do that. Oh, Isaac in the building, the first on the chat. Only fight worth watching yesterday was the Plant versus McCumbee. No, I disagree. I think that Lara versus Danny Garcia was important to see based on where people skill at versus where people think people skills at. See, the skill set of Danny Garcia versus Edislandi Lara is the reason why Canelo versus Lara was so big 10 years ago. 10 years ago, July 12th, 2014, Canelo took on Edislandi Lara. Once beaten Edislandi Lara to once beaten Canelo Alvarez. Two different scenarios. One got schooled by Floyd. The other one got robbed by Paul Williams. Okay? Keep that in mind. One was at 154, which was the WBA super welterweight champion, Edislandi Lara. The other one was at a catch weight of 155 because this was his second fight at this catch weight because he can no longer make 154. Okay, these are the facts in this situation. One guy was revered the best in the division, which was 154. Canelo was the up-and-coming cash cow because Floyd was making his way out of the game because he retired a year later after fighting Manny Pacquiao and then fighting Andre Berto. He was out. Okay, that he was out of there. He left. Deuces, peace. He left. Okay, so it was Canelo was left to replace that void that Floyd had. Okay, he was going to be the next guy, and needless to say, he is that guy, right? And he's still that guy for the most part until he retires, and then somebody else will have to be that. Okay. Lara's on a 4 KO streak. Actually, it's 5. It's a 5 KO streak, not 4. But Armand, he's on a streak nonetheless. And it shows you, Lara being the co-main event, him and Garcia. What Lara did to Garcia showed you that if Lara fought Canelo again, they're totally two different fighters. Canelo, I think, is he's older. 5 out of his last 6. There you go. Of course, Lara's older. All right, he's older, and we're looking at 2 different fights with 2 different fighters. They fought very controversial. Did you like the boxer of Lara, or did you like the body punching slash pressure from Canelo? So you know what I mean. It's those things need to happen, but I'm bringing it to the forefront because that's always a contentious subject. A lot of people thought, including myself, that Lara beat Canelo. A lot of people looked at that fight and said, you know what? It was a draw. A lot of people looked at that fight and thought that Lara won it first and then say, hey, you know what? I did think Canelo pulled it out. Nonetheless, you do have a argument for a second fight, for a rematch. Canelo Alvarez may not be in his late 30s. He may not be in his 40s. He's in fact 34 years of age. But what is important is he's declining. He's been in the game 19 years. Erislandy Lara is 41, and he still looks good. Now, what does that mean? That means that if they fought again, I think you will see 2 older guys fight. I think you will see a more of a high impact fight because Lara, with his style of distance, he's still going to manage that distance. You would be a fool if you let Canelo get all the way up to you and do what he does. You know what I mean? Like that, you would be a fool if you do that. Now, the strange thing is, I would favor Canelo in this situation based on Lara's inability to move like he used to. However, Lara's punching a lot harder than he did then because he has to sit down on these punches. He's no longer that guy anymore. It reminds me of Muhammad Ali when Muhammad Ali had those legs and then he didn't have those legs in coming to the mid 70s and he had to start and trade with these guys. You see what I mean? So, and a lot in the early 70s, he was having problems with that. When he got caught with that left hook, he thought his legs was going to get him back out of those problems, but it didn't. And Frazier came with that rising hammer and caught him with that left hook and dropped him because his legs did not do what his mind wanted his legs to do. Okay, Lara may be in the same situation, but Lara is also a good enough boxer with the ring IQ of knowing, like, look, I know where this is. I know where this fighter's going to be. You know what I mean? His experience is very vast because he's been in there with damn near everybody, and it just tripped me out on how someone that was eager, younger, I don't know about stronger because he's at a different weight class, like Danny Garcia, that's never been down to the canvas, gets stopped in that fashion. It just lets you know there are weight classes for a reason. But I will tell you, shout out to Angel Garcia because he did the right thing. Get my son out of there. I'm not letting my son, and you know what I mean? He pretty much did what Sean Porter's dad did, Kenny Porter. He stopped the fight because he never seen his son in a situation like that. We never seen Sean Porter like that in that Terence Crawford situation. Just like we never seen Danny Garcia like that in that, Erislandy Lara situation. We never seen Danny hurt like that. We've seen Danny take punches and bleed and swell and all that, of abrasions, and he kept coming like a tough Philly fighter should. However, we didn't see that last night. We seen a guy confused. We seen a guy really uncertain what to do. We've seen that with that. We didn't know what was going on with Danny. Danny didn't know what was going on. Nobody could tell him what was going on. You know, Eddie Wick, yeah, but Canelo too good. He doesn't have the power, but he still has the best boxing IQ. Well, the best boxing IQ isn't a fact of opinion. Does he have a good IQ? Yes. Does he have the best? I don't know if he has the best. See, the thing is, ask yourself this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's be interactive, okay? Okay. There we go. So, just made a new poll. So, because we're talking about Canelo's ring IQ, we know Canelo has a good and a high ring IQ, but to say it's the best, I don't know, because you have other fighters out there, like guys like Lara, and you know especially Lara still fighting. I don't know how long Lara will stay fighting. You know, Berlanga was landing more jabs than he should have. Well, not really. If anything, Berlanga should have landed more jabs. He should have kept Canelo back, but he should have enforced the right hand. The jab is the rangefinder. The jab is a scoring punch, but it also is a punch to determine where that person's head's going to be. So if you can land with a jab, there's a very good chance that you'll be able to land the right hand. And he didn't do that. He didn't capitalize on that. He tried to pop with the jab to see if that punch is going to be there because he was uncertain. He was not familiar with that punch being there or not. He didn't know if that punch was going to be there. Okay. Oh, Isaac, Kurt, we need to commend Canelo for fighting young, hungry guys. I respect him for that. But he talks about the size of Benavidez. But yesterday, I think Berlanga was about the same size as Benavidez. Berlanga's a big guy. Berlanga's a young guy. I have to disagree with you, oh Isaac. I don't think that he should be fighting guys young like that at all. Do you know why? Okay, for this reason. The same reason he's wanting credit for fighting Berlanga is the same reason that he'll say, "Oh, I fought Floyd too young." You see what I mean? I fought Floyd too young, so I was a young guy, so I was inexperienced. So by his own mindset, by his own argument, well, you're fighting guys that that are not as experienced, and that's why you're fighting them. Fight them now and get rid of him now before he becomes a problem later. You see what I mean? That's what I think that's coming from. I don't know. On Canelo, I think Bud and Lara could take advantage of the jab. They would take advantage of the jab. Lara, like Canelo is a guy, if you look at him last night, he's a guy that needs to get close to you. Okay. He uses good upper body movement to control, to help, to aid his defense while he's so far away from a fighter. But understand, he's inching and getting closer to that with his upper body movement. You see what I mean? He's doing that to get close because he's shorter and he doesn't have the reach advantage. Okay? But don't get it twisted. Canelo is very deceptive when thinking he's not close enough to hit you, and he's able to hit you. So don't get it twisted. But understand, he does realistically need to get closer to you to land those shots, to land those uppercuts, that left hook, those body work. He likes to work the body. Okay? Lara won against Canelo, in my opinion. Zip, zop, zip, zop. I think so as well. I mean, a lot of other people do. Canelo always maintains ring generalship. J. Roos theory. How much I miss, bro? I just started 14 minutes ago, so I'm not. I haven't been here long. We got a nice crowd here that's growing. Pretty quick, actually. Canelo wasn't moving his head that much. Well, I think that's just due to preference. I just think that's just due to him not really wanting. and not having the energy to stay enthused to keep the fundamentals. Okay. I think that's just due to, you know, him not wanting to take the energy. That takes energy. Bro, that takes energy to move like that. You know, Canelo is making me lots of money. JJ Hilt, I heard that. I would love Canelo too if I was betting and I was making cash. But then, you know, you must have betted someone that really thought that Berlanga was going to beat him. I think Hannebeck puts Lara to sleep. Oh, you mean the guy with the yeah, Hannebeck's a beast, bro. You know what I mean? He's a beast. Yeah, he's a beast. Now that is bro. Now that's a totally different issue. But I do agree. Janabek, you talking about what is it? Something style. Because he has it on his trunks. Um, I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's isn't he a Kazakh or something like that? Word of the day: Canelo does not have too many fights left at this level. He needs to make the fights that people want to see. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Since Canelo's chin is so tough, maybe his weakness is his body, like Usyk. Maybe. He's short and Wolverine bulky, so it's hard. It's hard, J. Roos. You know what I mean? He's a short cat. With that performance, Terence Crawford would get Canelo out of the way. Well, here's the thing, King Grayson. With Terence Crawford's performance, what was people saying? Oh, man, don't go up to 168. See, when people see other fighters fight, it just amuses me. I'm baffled by how people think like, hey, oh, man, you seen him fight that other guy? If he comes in there with that other guy, like the way he fought, he ain't nothing. Now we're talking about Canelo. Canelo won't fight Berlanga like he will fight Crawford. Crawford won't fight Canelo like he would fight Madrimov. Okay. Bud can attack the body well. He can, but understand, fighting someone like Canelo, that ain't a one-way street, bro. You fighting Canelo coming with hooks, overhand crosses. He likes to loop shots now. You're knocking out these invisible demons, my guy. Canelo can attack the body well. He can. I think Lara and Canelo have a right IQ, have a ring IQ that can't be compared to each other. Shola, Ibuprofen, listening to Kurt is therapeutic. Appreciate you, brother. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Thank you. Janabek, a monster like Madrimov. I think he's better than Madrimov, but I think he's bigger than Madrimov. I think that's why he's better. He's bigger. Canelo don't even move half as much as Canelo. Canelo don't even move as half as much as Canelo. Okay. Arma, style makes fights. They do. Yeah, great point. It's hard to hit Canelo's body, especially without being countered. Well, that's the whole point. But then you may have brought up a better point. Maybe Canelo's weak spot is something that people don't think about. Maybe it is to his body. That is something. One thing that I would critique Gennady Golovkin on when Gennady Golovkin fought Canelo. We've known Gennady Golovkin to have hard punches, great chin, a great endurance, pressure fighter. But what else? Body punishment. What did he take David Lemieux out with? Punches to the body. Bat. Body shots were, you know what I mean? So he was like, what did he take Matthew Macklin out with? Body shots. Mac the Knife? Body shots. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking, okay, well, what happened to the body punching from Golovkin? That's why I would fancy a fight with someone like Beterbiev, because Beterbiev will pick shots, and he will pick shots based on what he can land. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't waste a lot of shots. You know what I mean? But fighting someone like Canelo pretty much knows, like, look, I think Canelo could score against Beterbiev, but Beterbiev's punching power, I think, would be far supreme. But it would be something to see if Canelo could deal with that. See, Bivol just gave him too much activity. He couldn't deal with all those punches. He couldn't deal with all those punches because they weren't knockout punches, but they were big enough punches to keep Canelo like, damn, I can't get out of the way. Bees, 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 bees. He couldn't do it. You think you could beat me up? Bird man, big man. I don't know. Berlanga was 193 pounds. He was huge, and Canelo can take it. Well, I don't think Berlanga can punch like someone like Beterbiev. That's different punching power. You know, Berlanga is 6'1", 74-inch reach, and still wash you're able to put a beating on Canelo. And still wasn't able. Oh, what? I don't know what that means. Wasn't. Okay. All right. I figured that. I'm like, wasn't? Yeah. But I don't know. I'm looking at Fat Joe ditched Berlanga after the fight. Dang. Did he really? Or that's just something you're saying? Because, like, there's been where has that like Cotto was too small, Canelo was too big, and it's just so crazy because Cotto knew better. Cotto knew I'm not going up there fighting Golovkin. They gave Cotto like what 15 million. He got $15 million. He got $15 million to fight Canelo. But he was on his way out. Cotto was like, the guy that was considered, a legend by his own right, due to a lot of different reasons. Cotto was just obviously cheated. He was cheated against Margarito. Margarito cheated him to the point where we don't know how his career would have went. I think Cotto probably would have fought longer. Because remember, this was in 2008, okay? Margarito came in there with those gloves. He came in there with those plaster of Paris gloves. After the fight was over, you can see after he took the gloves off, how swole his wraps were. No wrap's supposed to look like that. If you guys seen how my wraps are, if I had some bulging thing outside of those wraps that swole, why was that? The only thing and the only reason that my hand would look like that unless my hand itself was swollen. Margarito didn't have no swollen damn hands. Margarito had a swollen thing in there. Margarito cheating killed Cotto's career. It did. It did. It did. He got avengement, but you can't take away time. He cheated that man. Margarito just should have been another guy that should have been outpointed by Cotto. Margarito's tough. He has a chin. But that don't mean you should have cheated that man. That was wrong. And see, one thing that you need to learn about, let me take you guys back to some welterweight history, okay? The very next fight, Antonio Margarito / Margarito, okay, got caught by Nassim Richardson. Nassim Richardson, he trained guys like Bernard Hopkins, Sugar Shane Mosley, God bless the dead, by the way. But he was the one that indicated like something ain't right about those wraps. Rewrap them. And as soon as they started to unrewrap them, that shit fell out. It fell out. It literally, boom. That crap fell out. Now, I tell you, when it fell out, they had to deal with it because they had to confiscate it. They had to examine it. They had to know what it was. But the fight went on. They continued wrapping the gloves. And, a lot of people think that, Sugar Shane, beat the brakes off of him because he tried to get cheated. That wasn't the reason or the main source of the anger that Sugar Shane Mosley had. Sugar Shane Mosley, okay, listen to this. Sugar Shane Mosley was pissed because his partner at the time that he called his wife, she handled all of his business. And, she told him that, hey, she ain't like, I have control of your funds. You're not getting a dime. You're not going to beat Antonio Margarito because you're a loser. Oh, yeah. The woman that he got Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. by, his baby mama, basically, told Sugar Shane Mosley this. Said, you know what? You're a loser anyway. You're not going to win any fights. You're a bum. You're a loser. So guess what? You're not going to win it anyway. And he showed her. I'll show you. You know what I mean? I'll show you, bitch. That's what he told her. And he went out there and he destroyed Margarito because his partner, his woman, his girl, his lady, he called his wife, cheated on him and and told him, like, you know what? You know, you're not gonna be you're washed up. You ain't nothing no more. You know, I got control of your money and I'm leaving you. Which I know you're not going to beat Margarito anyway, because based on what Margarito did to Cotto, and Cotto beat Sugar Shane, right? Because think about it. Sugar Shane's last fight was with Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was the man. He was up here, right? Okay, stay with me. So Margarito beat him. Boom. So Margarito's here. Well, we found out Margarito's a damn cheat. So Margarito's boom down here. So Sugar Shane Mosley made himself boom back up here when his wife told him, hey, you couldn't beat Cotto. Cotto beat you. Right? You're a washed up fighter. I'm leaving you. You ain't going to make no money anyway because you ain't going to beat Margarito, because Margarito beat the guy that beat you. That's what happened. And that set a fire up under Sugar Shane Mosley. And he said, okay, bitch, I'm going to whoop this dude's ass. And he went out there and punished him. You're right, Armand. That's what happened. It wasn't just about those plaster of Parises. Yes, that was the way it's supposed to went. It's called karma. You do that to somebody, yeah. And that was the first time Margarito ever got stopped, dropped, and knocked out. That dude got a chin like this. Why? Even when Manny Pacquiao, he broke his eye socket, but he still was able to do what? He still was able to stand Pacquiao's punches at the last weight class that Pacquiao conquered. And that was at 154. Okay. I already trained boxing, yet these cats took one of damn fingers in my mind. I feel like Kung Fu would serve me better. Dang, really? Wow. Behind every great man is a woman, and behind every broken man is a woman. True. True. That cuts both ways. You got to be careful who you call your mate. You got to be careful who supports you. You got to be careful what their intentions are. And we're learning that. We're learning that so much, bro. We're learning that. We've been learning that for 40 years. Think about it. Mike Tyson thought he had the best woman in the world. Robin Givens, Robin. You know, Robin wanted money. You know what I mean? Allegedly. Okay. She wasn't any good for Mike. You know what I mean? Who else, bro? Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather thought he had the best, finest, and she's fine. Miss Jackson was fine, but she ended up, like, right after that getting with Nelly. Like, okay, where did this come from? You know what I mean? Like, these all of a sudden spontaneous relationships that come from women that leave these celebrities and leave these boxers or whatever, then all of a sudden there was somebody else. It makes you wonder. I was happy Shane won that fight. I remember his wife did him wrong. Yes, she did. Deontay Wilder. You see what I mean? Deontay Wilder, you know, his fiance, you know what I mean? This chick decides to send papers to him 2 days after he gets knocked out by Zhilei Zhang. Like, he's not even back in the country yet, but yet you're sending these papers. You could have sent those papers before he left, but you sent them after, and there's a reason you sent them after. You're not fooling anybody. You sent them after based on the fact that he lost, based on the fact that maybe his career is over. And you know you did that because it's like, okay, yeah, it's time for me to put this in motion. I'm not going to be with this guy no more. His future ain't looking too bright. So I'm going to make shit right. Bars. Okay? Andy Ruiz, another poor bastard. His girl tried to bury him on social media. Had him smiling with 2 big pounds of weed. How was Andy looking? Yeah, she posted that. She posted it on that man, had him with IV drips, trying to ruin this guy, trying to insinuate that he's a cheater, that he's a smoker, that he's a drug user. You know, she did that to him. You know, and I knew that was because of jealousy, because that's the same girl that he was with and had them kids by. I don't know how many kids he had with her, but that was the one that he was with when he knocked out AJ. So actually, she was there when he became a millionaire. Bars. Then this is what happens when you start falling out with somebody that was kind of there or whatever, yeah, they're going to give you hell. Oh, yes. Lewis decided not to get married until he retired, kind of like AJ. J. Roos theory, that's smart. You know, everybody was calling Lennox Lewis gay because of that. You know, where's your kids at? You ain't got no kids. Why you ain't got no, crazy. Me who just joined trying to figure out the context to the topic. Well, the context of the topic is Canelo possibly taking on Lara. You know, that's what we started with. But then if we started going down the line of welterweights to middleweights, where their guys are at, needless to say, because Lara is a middleweight, but he started at light well, or should I say light middleweight or super welterweight. Canelo versus Lara Bud. I think, if anything, if Canelo's going to stay on the PBC end, he should fight Lara. Give Lara another chance. You know what I mean? Because I think that would be a fight worth rematching. Because here's the thing: even if you think Canelo Alvarez beat Edislandi Lara July 12th, 2014, even if you think that, okay, you have to understand that there is an argument, okay, and there is a reason, right? An incentive for a rematch. Okay. He'll never fight Benavidez. Canelo just going to keep cherry picking. Yeah, he's going to do that anyway. Canelo's going to do that because people are going to. He has enough fans, and it's really ingenious. If you take everyone in a country and you make everything in that country free for you to watch, so they can idolize Canelo, looking at free TV, channel damn 3. You turn on channel 3 or channel 5 or whatever your local channel is, right, from your digital box, and you're able to look at Canelo Alvarez take on whoever the hell, you're going to love him. Most importantly, you're going to know about him because he's going to be available for you. He's not going to be like, oh, necesito pagar $100 in Americana or whatever, right? You're not going to pay $100 to see him there. It's going to be what we call premio tratis. That means free. Free gift. Free. Tratis. Free. Matthew Branch, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Wesley Gamble, you in LA, Kurt? Absolutely. I'm in LA. Vincent, Canelo should just fight Bud. That's a big fight. Canelo versus Kendrick gonna sell. Canelo versus Mayweather 2 for the big bucks. Nah, nobody wants to see that again. Floyd is too old. Lara outclassed Danny and made him quit. Well, Lara outclassed Danny because I'm not going to do Danny like that. He made his father call the fight off. You know, a listless, useless Danny Garcia. Mama Lou in the building. Counterpunch to you. 60 to 68, a big jump, and Danny been off and moved up. Well, I mean, Armand, he didn't go to 160. Let's cut the malarkey, okay? He went to 156 and a half. Okay, he didn't go up to 160. Okay? Duck Nello fighting Diego next. Watch. He's just going to pick somebody, and he's going to do, look, he's basically going to do what Mayweather's going to do. So, this is what I want people to do. Be fair. Be fair, people. Okay? Be fair. Because Canelo's going to do, and he's going down the same path as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, Money Mayweather took easy fights. After the Pacquiao fight, after he made $300 million, shout out to them, okay? Pacquiao made about $100 million, $180 million. He made $300 million. Those guys made $250 million together, okay? Now, take over that, but almost $500 million. Those two people made $500 million. Shout out to them. But Floyd cherry-picked his way to his last and final opponent. He did not want a real challenge. He wanted an easy, clear sailing from here. That's what he wanted. That's what he got. And people burned him for it. I did it because I expected more from Floyd, because I believed in Floyd's ability more than Floyd believed in his own ability, because he did not want to challenge himself. And that's why I was disappointed in Floyd. Money Mayweather. Okay. Stay with me. Since Canelo Alvarez is doing the same shite we have to hold him accountable to the same standards. So if Canelo's going to cherry pick his damn way out, we need to burn his ass at the stake too. That's what we need to do. Burn him at the stake. Crucify him. Put the nails in his feet. Put them in his feet and put them in his hands or his wrists. We have to hold him accountable just like we did Floyd. Okay? Floyd should have fought the undefeated, hungry, pissed off, Bone Thugs and Harmony / DeBarge, looking like he's the 18th brother of the DeBarge family, Keith One Time Thurman. He should have fought him. And he didn't. He ain't, I can't market him. You can't what? This man been calling Floyd out. Come on, bro. Lara deserves a good payday. A good payday. I mean, you listen. Lara fighting Canelo. I mean, I don't think Canelo. See, here's my thing. I don't think Canelo cares. You know, could you help me out, man, and teach me how to get back at those cats? They took my one finger in my mind. You can't just let them get away with it. Let them take an inch and they take a mile. Big man. Did you lose it in a gambling thing or something? Did you do some dance with the devil type stuff? What? He said Keith looked like he owned the DeBarge long low. Yeah, man, he looked like one of them, you know, them DeBarge brothers. You know, Bone Thugs, Busy Bone. The dude looks like that. Where is Keith One Time Thurman? Keith One Time Thurman is somewhere. Hopefully he's going to Turkey to get a hair transplant. Hopefully Keith Thurman is somewhere in Turkey, in Istanbul, Turkey, and getting a hair transplant. Because there's no reason that he should be trying to keep that shit up there. And he's already cut his ponytail, so he ain't got that no more. Samson. Okay, so he ain't got that no more. So he needs to go and fill that top in. He needs to fill that damn top in because he's looking like one of those stressed out stockbrokers from New York City. Okay? And he's so stressed out that his hair is falling out type shit. You know what I mean? Because he got one of those K7, you know, K7 Manhattan, Fifth Avenue cuts. Okay? Homie lost a finger betting on Canelo. Keith Thurman is pulling out of fights. Keith Thurman, I don't know what's going on with him. But I would do that if I was him. You know what I mean? So, yeah. It can be done, people. You know, you guys know I know. Hell, come on. You guys know I know. Keith should go full Shaolin and just go ponytail in the back. I know, right? Just like, if he's going to do that, just shave all that. Shave all that. And just hold a ponytail. I'm Keith One Time Thurman, Shaolin monk. I'm Shaolin Monk over here in St. Petersburg, baby. I'm Shaolin Monk. I know the praying mantis. I know the praying mantis kung fu. I can implement that in boxing too. I'm a bad man. I'm still a bad man. You give me Crawford. You give me Errol Spence. You give me the big boy Gerald Boots Ennis. I'll fight all them boys right now. If T.O. wants Thumb, we can get Thumb too. He'll talk all that stuff, and you ain't gonna see him fight. I wish I had the money. You wish you had your money for what? Kurt, did you see the Fulton fight? That was a sleeper on the card. I did not. That was on the undercard. I actually tuned in right after it ended, needless to say, so I didn't catch it. You know, Keith retired. He not coming back after that bicep injury. You know, well, I hope he's going to find somewhere to make money because he married a beautiful little thing. I forget where she's from. She ain't from Fiji. She's from some other place, I think, like Nepal, I think I want to say. I want to say that he's from Nepal. She's from Nepal. He got a child. He probably got another child. He may be on that Al Heyman payment plan. You guys are familiar with that Al Heyman payment plan, right? Okay, let's do this. Okay. I think she's from Nepal, bro. Nepal or Tibet, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't have my cell phone near me. Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's real pretty. They look like a very good couple. Beterbiev versus Canelo would be good. I never heard that. Better beef, hey. They should make Keith versus Charlo at 154. Jermell? The question you ask yourself, where the hell is Jermell? We ain't seen Jermell since he fought Canelo. Canelo drugged that dude up there and gave him that money and beat him up. Beat him up and knocked him around and gave him a payday. Payday. He gave him a payday. Nepal confirmed, right? It's confirmed. Okay, I knew it was someplace like that. I'm telling you, man, the cats took my finger in my mind. Not anything other than that. If you can't help me, man, I will still respect you. Man, I think you still got your mind if you're able to type and use and articulate what they did to you. So, I don't know about the finger, though. So I don't think I can, bro. Is Sloppy Joe Saunders making a comeback? I don't know. But do you guys do understand that Shane Mosley is making a comeback? Thurman, one more time, payday. That's why I said they should make the fight. Both missing in action, and his wife is from Nepal. Yeah. Kick big man out. I'm not gonna kick him out. I'm not gonna kick him out. He ain't doing nothing like disrespectful. I'm not gonna kick him out. Kurt, have you noticed all the PBC fighters losing and looking shaky due to long layoffs? Well, I know that certain fighters that layoffs are gonna hurt them all because I'm sorry, Uncle Al ain't got money to pay him. He don't have big money to pay him no more. That's what's wrong. And I call them all fools. And I'm gonna tell you why. As smart as Al Heyman perceived to be, he was not smart enough to understand that Floyd is killing his own stable of his own uncle or slash stepfather's fighters. Floyd Mayweather getting $20 million for an exhibition where he could took that $20 million, or let's just say 15, took that $15 million and financed these fighters to fight each other so they can take care of their families. Wouldn't that make more sense? Active fighters, not retired bullshit fighters that coasted their way through when they started an alias of money and got out of the sport, and he's still robbing the sport. You'd rather rob those fighters because that's all that's happening. And the rest is who? Canelo. They got to pay Canelo. So they're paying Canelo Alvarez a shitload of money. Okay. Then the rest of that money is being funneled out through Floyd Mayweather's exhibition dreams. And that's wrong. Floyd was fighting on DAZN has nothing to do with PBC. It wasn't at first, but eventually it did. See, all that money that they're giving Canelo Alvarez just to keep PBC relevant. But I saw it on DAZN. I paid for it on DAZN, didn't I not? Don't John fight in them exhibitions? John who? Sugar Shane Mosley needs to stay retired. Let his son, Baby Splenda, do his thing. Did you say Baby Splenda? Oh, man. The fall of the Charlos will be what could have been in boxing. It's just sad what has happened to these brothers. They should have been on their way to the Hall of Fame. Now it's a shame. Well, the Charlos, listen. Floyd, Al, they made big runs. They made big money. But that's what happens when you put all your money into one fighter. Dominique Corsalt. Kurt, what do you think about the Undisputed video game? I can't wait to see it. Is it coming out on 5? If it's coming out on 5, I got to buy a 5. It'd be what? Yeah, champion that had a good run do go down that path. I mean, everybody tried to go down the path of Floyd. They just knew that path they went down had a dead end to it. Do not enter. Not prohibited. Those exhibitions aren't on paper on PBC dime. I think they don't have the money because of how Amazon deal is set up. It's just a distraction deal from what I can see. LS Legend. I agree with you. They had to find another pay structure. They had to find another network. However, I'm not talking about something that's just necessarily happening now. How long Floyd has been doing this shit? How long Floyd has been doing these exhibitions? How long have these fighters been getting laid off? It's more than just a couple years. Most of these fighters ain't fought in 2 weeks. Look at Danny. Danny ain't fought in 700 days plus. Okay, so this is before that Amazon Prime deal. That Amazon Prime deal just became available because they're scrambling to try to find somewhere to show their damn fighters if they can pay their fighters, and they weren't sure if they could pay them or not. That was the problem. Okay, these guys been like that. Al Heyman been putting money into other avenues where he shouldn't have been. Floyd Mayweather shouldn't have. Like, you look. Again, like I told you guys yesterday about Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd, I will always respect and admire. The man that he turned into, I cannot respect, because the man that he turned into doesn't respect or appreciate other fighters. He may pick and choose other fighters like Tank Davis. Needless to say, he can't stand Tank, and Tank can't stand him. It's another Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo situation all over again. It's just in another promotional issue or company or side. You know what I mean? But he should have equally put his fighters out there and actually taken care of them. Which, to say this, Al Heyman has done that. But Floyd, trying to be a little Al Heyman, should have helped him do that. Not sit around and flaunt and buy stupid bullshit. He should have helped those fighters. Luis Ortiz, you know why Luis Ortiz is fighting right now, people? Do you know why that old ass man is fighting? Señor Viejo, Señor Tío. Tío is fighting right now because his daughter has a condition that still needs medical attention, and he's fighting for her. Sure, he's trying to keep the lights and shit on, but he's fighting for so she can get the attention she needs. He ain't fighting for himself. Guys like Yoriokis Gamboa is in Cuba somewhere chilling with money. Luis Ortiz ain't, because he needs to get his daughter care. That's why I respect things like what Anthony Joshua was saying he's going to do. I hope he's going to do it, you know. But, you know, hey, let's get these guys in. Some say Floyd is having money problems. Well, Kurt, I don't think Floyd got $20 million for that exhibition. I don't know. All I know is what's reported. But you don't hear of anybody else reported to get that amount of money from the PBC except Canelo Alvarez. Not 20 million. Where would they generate that from? I don't know, bro. Kurt, do you feel Crawford is selling his undefeated record for Canelo payday? Does he have a chance of beating Canelo? He has a chance of beating Canelo, but the question you ask yourself, with someone older than Canelo, with someone, you know, that doesn't sell like Canelo, with someone that doesn't have a country behind him like Canelo, do you think Terence Crawford would win a fight? Do you think he would actually win a fight? A win, like, a decision. Win a decision against Canelo anyway? See, we're talking about, is he selling his undefeated record and all that shit. I think it's a little deeper than that. As long as they know Canelo Alvarez has a country behind him, and as long as they know he's the cash cow, Canelo is going to be hard to beat. I think if it's close, they'll give it to Canelo anyway, because Canelo is a better draw. Canelo is a better bet for networks. Canelo hasn't joined the Turkey Al-Sheikh League, right? So he's still in the same bullshit that runs boxing politics, okay? He's still doing that same thing. Undisputed comes out October 11th on all consoles. Okay, even PlayStation 4, let's get it, because I got that in there right now. Let's do it. Crawford, Omaha strong, can outpoint Canelo at 160. I believe that, but will he win a decision against Canelo at 168? Madrimov couldn't win a decision against Bud. So what we talking about? We're talking about bro, you can't compare Madrimov to Canelo, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Let's use our brains for a minute. Who is Madrimov compared to Canelo, bro? Come on. Come on, John Destruction. Come on, bro. Think about that, man. Triple G won the first fight with Canelo. No, he didn't. It was a draw. That shows you everything, bro. Come on. I know what you're trying to do, Will. You know, he's favored. Come on, bro. Terence is favored because he beat Madrimov, a guy that I ain't never heard of before fighting him. Come on, bro. Think Canelo knocks Crawford out. If he knocks Crawford out, boom. You know, he gets credit, and he should get credit. He didn't knock out Jermell Charlo. Now, he did knock out Mir Khan. And the reason why I'm bringing those fighters up, Khan, Jermell Charlo, Crawford, because those guys, well, those two guys, he fought them and he made those guys come up, needless to say. He said, forgive him, Kurt, he's high. Something. Because, man, you're trying to compare Madrimov to Canelo. No, bro. Crawford walks around at 168, so it's his limit. No, I don't think it's his limit. I think that's just his walking around weight. You know, I doubt it, Kurt. Triple G beat Canelo by 3 rounds the first fight. There's no chance he'll, unless he knocks out Canelo. Matthew Branch, you may have a point in that. There you go. Counterpunch to you. Joe Destruction, no, but Bud gets the benefit of the doubt to if it's not Canelo. But we're talking about Canelo, bro. We're talking about Canelo. We're not talking about any other fight. We're talking about Canelo and Bud. Can Bud get a decision against Canelo? That's exactly who we're talking about. I understand everybody else, but no, the benefit of the doubt does not apply when you're talking to Canelo. Counterpunch. Crawford needs to move up to 160 first to see how he goes. Well, here's the thing. I think Terence knows that he's running out of time. I think Terence knows that he won't perform like he performed last year against Errol Spence in dynamic fashion forever. Okay. CJ Esperon in the building. Salute to you, my brother. But Bud can do what Bivol and May did. Maybe. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe. And even with, hey, let's talk about the Floyd Money Mayweather fight with Canelo Alvarez for a second, shall we? Okay, do you guys know that was a majority win? That wasn't a unanimous decision, which it should have been. Bars, simply because CJ Ross had it 114. How in the Hades did she have it like that? Come on, bro. Canelo is a thick-boned, dense person. His neck is thick. His head is everything. This is why it's hard to knock Canelo out. Smooth Will, I agree with you. That dude got a neck like Mike Tyson. Like he's like the Mexican neck Mike Tyson. Everybody calls, David Benavidez the Mexican monster. But in retrospect, it is like this. Canelo Alvarez has a Mike Tyson-esque neck. Shout out to Rashad J4. With that 6, whatever that is, Canelo became better boxer after the Floyd fight. I don't know. I think he's learned some things. Yeah, this and that. But I think it's all about the styles that made him look a certain way. I will always believe that. Look at Bivol. He was good when he fought Bivol, right? But that Bivol style he couldn't deal with. Lara, he fought Lara a year after getting beat by Floyd. He still struggled. That's what I'm talking about. He's going to struggle, bro, with certain fights. He knows. Terence Crawford is going to be one of those damn fights that he's going to struggle. He's going to be like, shit, I don't look good. I don't look like I looked in Berlanga and Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith and Rocky Fielding. He's not going to look like that. He's not going to look that way because he's dealing with a style that's not giving him what he wants to look that way. I'm trying to tell you guys, Canelo Alvarez has challenges. Pure boxers give him hell. Hades. They give him hell. Okay? They can beat Canelo with skill. Canelo can be outboxed. He can be outboxed. Can he be out tough? No. He can be out skilled. He can be outclassed. He can be outboxed. You see what I mean? Kurt movement gives Canelo trouble and a good jab. That's it. You know what I mean? And you have to keep him back. Like, see, Lara. Here's the thing about Lara, and this is what I think about all Cuban fighters overall. Not giving Canelo a pass in that situation. But I will say this. Most Cuban fighters are naturally arrogant. They're gifted. They're skilled. They have high ring IQ because they've been doing that shit since they've been pretty much able to walk. You know what I mean? It's more like a concentration thing that they had to learn, like being a soldier in China. Okay. Boxing. Okay. But understand that when they get to the States and they seen, "Oh, I beat that guy over there years ago. I know what his problem is. Yeah, he has cement feet. Oh yeah, this dude here, he doesn't help move his head. Oh, I know that guy. He doesn't have any kind of ring IQ. Those guys come over here. Okay, they defect from Cuba from whatever way and however way they defected from Cuba. Shout out to them. They get over here and they get arrogant and they get over here and they feel, hey, you know what? I beat these guys. I can do this amateur shoe shine shit and it'll work. No, you got to do that and more. You got to do and go above and beyond. And I think Lara beat Canelo, but I do also think Canelo should have done more. Look how Canelo acted in the 12th round. Lara, pop, pop, walked off from him because he knew I just done enough to beat Canelo. I know I'm a better boxer than Canelo. I know I can outclass Canelo, but he didn't do what he could have done in that fight against Canelo. Does that mean? Um, what's up, Marley? My girl Marley in the building. What's up, baby? Um, does that mean? Does that mean though that he couldn't have done more? But does that also mean that he was going to win that fight? It doesn't. But it should also show that, hey, at least he tried more. At least he showed more. At least he done more. At least he showed the fans and people like, look, not only that I'm better than him, I can also do more than him. I can also outwork him. You know what I mean? And still keep my poise and still, keep the score up and still keep that jab and that left in his face or feint that left and pop him with that right. Okay, that's what he should have done, and he didn't do that. And I call that arrogance. Vasyl Lomachenko has that same thing. I think Vasyl Lomachenko does enough to make to his mindset to win, but I think he needs to compensate the mindset of who's scoring the fight. The judges, that's right. You have to appease the judges, not your own mindset, not your own ego, not the way that you think, oh, I think I did enough to win. Shit, I'm the shit. No. You have to do what you feel that the judges feel. Imagine how they think. Are these judges pressure fighters? Are they pure boxer enforced? Are they those type of guys? Are they those type of judges? You don't know. Okay? And shout out to Richard again with that love. What if Andre Ward do a comeback versus Triple G? Who you got? I got Andre Ward. Andre Ward's bigger. He's bigger than Triple G. Triple G's older as well. So not only is Triple G smaller, he's also older. Triple G did not want any of Andre Ward. Let's talk about that for a minute while we're here. Andre Ward wanted Triple G to come up. Triple G was like, nah, no, guys, I'm middleweight. He stayed right there at middleweight. He did not want to go to 168 messing with Andre Ward. So Andre Ward had to do everything he did at 168, then go to 175 and did everything there. And he took on the Kovalev the month. He took him on. Okay. Kurt, I haven't heard anything from Rigo. Is his career over since his accident that you know of? Smooth Will, unfortunately, probably is. Understand something about PBC fighters. PBC fighters, they're retired by default anyway. They're retired if you don't see them because all of them are taking a hiatus. You guys remember in my profession, we went on strike last year. Well, just look at it like that. They're on strike. They're on strike, man. It is what it is. Canelo is making me money. Cool. Boa noite. Brasil en la casa. Tudo bem? I want to see Lara versus Hamza Shiraz. Okay, I never heard of Hamza Shiraz. Shane is already slurring his speech, and he's really making a comeback. Smooth Will, yeah, unfortunately. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think that Sugar Shane should sit down somewhere and take 3 seats. And I love Sugar Shane. Shout out to Sugar Shane Mosley. You know, his people are from here and from Shreveport. But, bro, I do see that too. I see that with a lot of fighters. I see that with Evander Holyfield. I see that with definitely James Toney. He's a advanced case of that. I see that with Sugar Shane. I see that in Roy Jones. Okay, I see that in a lot of fighters. You know, that speech is the first to indicate, CE. I don't like that. I hate that. That is something that I despise. I despise that. Okay? From anybody, because it just shows damage, residual damage that they took years ago, fight after fight, spar after spar, round after round. They've taken that damage. Now it's coming to the forefront. Now you're hearing it from their speech. Come on, Rocky Balboa, Rocky. We did it. That is real, bro. And I'm glad they implemented that finally in the storyline, because Rocky 5 was when they showed how his brain, was took so much damage. You see what I mean? Yeah. Dent Dark Kent. I was impressed with Plant when I thought his Joe Dirt opponent was going to give him problems. He did give him problems, Dark. He did. Shoot, man, he didn't want to back down, boy. He didn't want to do it. I told him. I'm gonna plant Plant's ass in the ground. That's what I'm gonna do. Yee. Kurt, if that was the last fight with the PBC, can Canelo still demand his 30 million guarantee while fighting his hand-picked opponent? No. What are you thinking about Bivol? What do I think about Bivol? I think Bivol's fantastic. I think Bivol is the official Bruce Lee with boxing gloves, bro. That dude is dynamic. I think he's a foil to Beterbiev, but I think Beterbiev is a foil to him. One of those guys are going to do one or two things. Either Bivol's going to outbox Beterbiev, or Beterbiev is going to stop Bivol. One of them are going to prevail at what they do. And what they do it best. That's why I love what's going to happen October 12th. Okay? I can't wait. I can't wait to see that fight. It's an undisputed fight between light heavyweight champions, undefeated and undisputed. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's going down. And I will be ready right here or wherever I am, counterpunching the whole thing. Hope to keep my voice. Kovalev versus Ward 1 could have gone either way. I think Kovalev won that due to the knockdown. I do. I always do. I always will. I love SOG, Andre Ward. That's my boy. But I think he lost that fight. He did come back, though. And he did show why he is Andre Ward. But understand, I don't think he won that fight. I think, it was close, though. Okay? Even in the loss, Berlanga stock went up. Well, he didn't get stopped, They say Cubans come here and want to enjoy life. They don't train hard. That is what trainers said. I do agree. I agreed with Errol Spence. You remember when Errol Spence, when he's talking about Ugas? Ugas, man, I think Ugas, they come over here, man. They had it hard in Cuba. So they come over here, they just enjoying everything. They buying the rings and chains, and they trying to, they got the girl, they eating good. So they just go to they know they gonna get paid. They ain't getting paid over there in Cuba. So, they making their money. So, I don't think they train hard like that. They don't want it no more. They come over here, it's a land of milk and honey. So, I don't think Ugas train like that. That's what he said. And, could you argue with him? I like Beterbiev. He has a generational type fighter. He has a generational type fighter. I'd like to see Moonshiner McCumsey in another fight. Me too. McCumbee. I'm sorry, McCumbee. Kurt, I totally see the changes in the retros fighters' slurred speech and all. Yep. But Kurt, why do fighters take so long to fight the big fights and prolong their careers and take more damage day by day? For one, I think promoters endorse that idea. I think they want fights to build because they want a balloon effect at the end. What do I mean by that? Balloon effect is, well, they want that fight to build and build like blowing into a balloon, right? And then that balloon gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger before it pops. You take it off and you tie it up. And that's what that's about. I think, they want that to build and build till it gets to that mature level when it swells to that capacity and everyone gets paid. You know what I mean? So then you'll see the fight where it's supposed to, but that shit don't happen a lot in boxing. What normally happens in boxing is a lot fairer than people think it is. It's a lot unpredictable. That's what makes it fair, because a lot of times people try to control that, and they got this guy, this cherry pick, cherry pick, cherry pick. Oh, decent fighter, but getting old, pretty much cherry pick. But what happens in those four, something happens, something goes wrong that they don't anticipate. Okay. And since they don't anticipate it, it's like, oh, snap, what's going on now? This fighter gets upset by. That's why you got fights, people. Let's go on back. I like to take people back. When I was 14, 15 years old, we had one hell of a fighter named Terry Norris. If you guys remember Terry Norris, give me a Y. If you don't, give me an N. Okay? I'm rooting for Dubois, but I don't minimize AJ either. Man can win. A sore loser never looks good if you're going to count anyone out. Do it before the fight rather than bandwagon. Ward saw weakness in AJ and could have exposed it. Since AJ changed his trainer, the door has been closed since. Okay, why? Terry Norris. Do you remember Terry Norris? Terrible Terry Norris used to be trained by Abel Sanchez. And this is way before Triple G, people. Okay? Terrible. Yeah, exactly. All right. So anyway, let me continue, because I don't know if you guys, I'm seeing guys come in. Okay. Terry Norris had $1 million payday with Oscar De La Hoya. He had $1 million payday set up, ready to be signed, sealed, and soon delivered to fight Oscar De La Hoya. I mean, it might have been, come on, bro, this is the 90s. So the mid 90s, and I think it might have been 7 to 8 million, something like that. $7-8 million. Terrible Terry Norris, you know what I mean? And he loses, bro. He loses to Keith Mullins. Keith Mullins was like an ex-Marine that has been beat a gang of times. He's had losses, but he's never been dropped. Terrible Terry Norris, and his style that Abel Sanchez trained him upon, was an aggressive style. Because understand this, as we learned about Abel Sanchez thinks black fighters are boring. You know what I mean? They don't do enough. They're boring fighters, So he trained terrible Terry Norris to fight like, I guess, a black Mexican or whatever, or a more exciting fighter, to say the least. And him training him that way got him knocked out. I met Terry Norris in South Dakota. Is that South Dakota or is that San Diego? Probably you, San Diego, right? Okay. I was at the second Ward Kovalev fight at the Mandalay Bay in 2017. What a stoppage by Ward. I got a good call, cell video of him walking into the ring. He retired too early. Maybe, maybe not. I don't like how ESPN dropped him, though. I think, those guys like Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward, those guys over here, they should have been like the ESPN cats along with Max Kellerman and the other guys. Julian Jackson KO'd Terry Norris in 1992. I understand that, but understand this. Terry Norris came and made a comeback, and he had an opportunity to take on Oscar De La Hoya and lost it due to Matt Mullins. Oliver McCall never knocked down either. Yeah, Oliver McCall was a tough guy. He used to spar Mike, man. If you guys Google Mike Tyson versus Oliver McCall sparring, you'll see how good Oliver McCall was, dude. He was giving Mike Tyson the blues. This wasn't that normal, knock you out opponent or sparring guy, crash dummy that Mike had that was knocking out. Oliver McCall was not one of those people. Okay, you will be very surprised if you see Oliver McCall and Mike Tyson, and then hopefully they'll give you a lot of respect for Oliver McCall. That Oliver McCall, for the record, in the rematch with him and Lennox Lewis, that fight should have been a no contest because Oliver McCall did not come in that ring to fight Lennox Lewis. We may say Lennox Lewis came in there and avenged every loss that he's ever had. He really can't rate that one as an avengement because Oliver McCall was out of his mind. He was either high, threatened, both. Something was wrong with that guy. Okay? Oh, he's from San Diego. Okay, cool, cool. McCall KO Lennox Lewis. He KO Lennox Lewis, but Lennox Lewis, they had to stop the fight because Oliver McCall is almost to me. Okay, you guys remember The Last Boy Scout? I'm assuming you guys are my age. The Last Boy Scout. Have you guys ever seen The Last Boy Scout? Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans. Give me a Y or an N. Give me a Y or an N. The Last Boy Scout. Have you guys ever saw this movie? Classic movie. Have you guys ever seen it? McCall was on medication. Stefano, yes. Orland scared it up. Yes. Nam 25. DeMarcus Hill. Check out The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans. It's off the hook, bro. It's cool. Oh, Holly Berry's in it too. She's in it too. Okay. Skrilla 50. No. Smooth Will. Yes. Okay. I follow McCall on IG. Cool. Okay. Word of the day. McCall said they wanted him to throw the fight. Okay. Listen. All right. Word of the day. I'm glad you said that. Okay. I'm glad you said that because you guys that did see The Last Boy Scout, it was like that. They had a fight. They had a player that they told you need to do this or this is going to happen. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the storyline, but understand that's what I got. That's the same vibe from word of the day. And McCall said they wanted him to throw the fight because it was something going on behind the scenes. That's what it was. McCall was a great fighter. Absolutely, ex-con. Counterpunch to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans. Absolutely, bro. That was a classic fight. You know, what do they call them? I forgot what they call that bullet. The kind that spread. Yeah, man, that was a good movie, bro. Classic movie, The Last Boy Scout. Hollenbeck. Yo, that was a bad dude, bro. Touch me again, I'll kill you. Good stuff. I might watch that tonight, dude, actually. Trying to listen to your visions, man. They are like paths through heavy forest areas. I do and take my word. They help me countless times. Big man, big man. Appreciate you, brother. McCall was wasted potential in Tommy Morrison. Tommy Morrison just, found out he had an illness. You know what I'm saying? He would have fought, but he found out he had an illness. He would eventually got those big fights. I remember watching that fight, and he started to cry. They said he went mental. Definitely felt like he was told to lay down for that one. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird for so many levels, on so many levels. It was weird. Honestly, it was. I didn't really understand it. Something was afoot, right? Something was going on. Okay. So let me see. 132 votes. We got Edgar Lara at 28%. Canelo Alvarez at 72%. Okay. So I'm going to end this poll because I don't really agree with that. But that's you guys, and that's how you guys voted. So I have to respect it. Crawford versus Canelo intake. Yeah, Tommy did run into Ray Mercer. And Ray Mercer, in fact, in exchange, ran into Tommy. No Diddy, right? Hell no. I voted Lara. Well, it is what it is. Let's do this. Let's do one last poll before I jump off of here because I'm supposed to have been off of here because I got an audition to work on. Okay. Okay, let's do this. All right, cool. All right, boom. So I did the last one. So that's probably more of a cut and dry one that I think we will be definitely better the answer. Canelo's IQ is not better than Lara's. Y'all are on fentanyl. Not fentanyl. Did you spar, Kurt? Yeah, I sparred. I spar every Thursday. Well, I'm sparring. I sparred last Thursday. I'm going to spar this Thursday. So, Kurt, what if Lennox Lewis had fought Riddick Bowe as a pro? Do you think who would have won? I don't know. You don't know things like that because, see, Riddick Bowe was a very dangerous fighter. Riddick Bowe was a bully. Riddick Bowe was a very big. He was a big dude too. He wasn't small like Lennox Lewis. He wasn't small. I mean, like Evander Holyfield coming up and moving up in weight. He wasn't short like Mike Tyson. Okay. He was a big heavyweight. He was big enough to acquire to eradicate the possible advantages that Lennox Lewis had. Lennox Lewis was taller than most guys, so he had the jab, he had the reach, he had the size. He could see, he could grab you, could uppercut your ass at the same time. He could do a lot of things, but Riddick Bowe was also a big bloke, bro. You know, but I think Riddick didn't really want that fight, though. There was a before Stewart and after Stewart Lewis. That is true, but it took years for Lewis, okay, after he got knocked out by Oliver McCall, to make a comeback. He didn't fight Oliver McCall right away. He had like 5 or 6 fights in between that. Okay. Bowe got crazy at times. Yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. Bro, if he would have fought Lennox Lewis, the buildup would have probably been as equivalent to that Mike Tyson buildup. It would have been crazy. Crazy. It would have been crazy, man. Is the poll for Lara Canelo between each other or their fight last night? No. Who do you think won between those two? Period. Good question. I'm glad you asked. Lennox lost the guys he thought could beat him. He would have respected for he would have respect for Bowe and would have won. What matters is what took place on Saturday. The past is done, and I think Lara beat Canelo. So whatever, Jack. Okay, well, vote. That's fine. Vote. That's what it was about. It's not who would win now. We'll do that another time if that fight becomes available or if more people start talking about the possibility of that fight. Okay. There was also some crazy things happening in a Bowe fight. Yeah, man. Riddick Bowe was crazy. Lara beat Canelo, in my opinion. Okay. Vote. Bowe lost more from the trilogy with Holyfield. I was being sarcastic. Absolutely. Some guy there. Urban Paradise. Bivol got that blueprint to beat Canelo from that Lara fight. No. I mean, just box him, stay back. You have to stay busy with Canelo. You can't let Canelo win rounds just based on power punches or certain pivotal moments in a round, because a lot of times people use pivotal moments or certain punches that landed, or he can get through with an uppercut or a left to the body or a left upstairs that sways of the judge's whole perception. Oh, whoa, look at Canelo. Look at that punch. Wow. That was the punch that stole my attention. You know what I'm saying? 10-9 Canelo. See, you know what I mean? You can't let that happen with Canelo. Jacobs fought Canelo good too. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Canelo beat Jacobs. There was no, ooh, wait, I don't know. No, I do know. He beat Danny Jacobs, bro. Galata would have beat Bowe both times if he wasn't ringing South bells in both fights. Skrilla 50, yes. Andrew Galata, with the style that he had versus the style that Bowe had, he would have beat Bowe. He was whooping Bowe's ass. He was just retarded. Yes, I did say that. You know why I said that? Because we could say that back in that day. He was retarded. Andrew Galata was retarded. That's what we called. He was retarded. He was out of his mind. Okay? You know what I mean? You can't say that now about fighters now, but he wouldn't have now. He's been retired for a long time now. But yeah, back then, yeah, that's what we recorded. Yeah, he was off the chain, bro. Berlanga did better than I thought. He definitely has love, but no boxing smarts. Well, he has machismo and all that stuff he was doing. Like, come on, I'm like, dude, come on, bro. He don't have it. He just didn't have, the intellect. He did not have the ability. The right's hands weren't even landing. Canelo had the distance down. So whenever Canelo moved back, that right hand was missing and he was throwing it at air. That's what was going on. And here I thought Cubans were arrogant, and I'm Cuban. The record books say Canelo won. Some guy there. Todo la sede, pero el gano es Lara. Ya tú sabes. Duite. Dark Kent, heart. Yeah, he had heart, but that's pretty much it. Dark bars. Berlanga is still a pit bull with no teeth. I like what I saw from Berlanga. He is still young, and he will only get better. Okay. But yeah, I mean, they were in Vegas. They should have had a rematch already. But you know who didn't want the rematch? And you know who didn't argue with the rematch? Let me tell you who didn't want it. Oscar didn't want it. You heard Oscar? Oscar got up there. Um, we have everyone knew, everyone knew that Lara was slick, very slick fighter. And Lara lost. So rematch. Nobody wants to see a rematch. Lara lost, so he has to go behind in the back of the line and continue to fight. But no one wants a rematch. That's what happened. Okay? So that's what happened. Did Canelo say anything? Did he object? No. Kurt, do you believe Chris Bird is compromised health wise today because he overextended his body to become a heavyweight, which messed him up? No, I didn't. I heard him say that he's supposed to have been in middleweight, and if he's supposed to have been in middleweight, his ass should have been at middleweight. What's next for the 300-pound Devin Haney, Jarrell Miller? I don't know, man. I don't know. Back of the line for you. No one wants to see. He's slick. So if he's slick, we don't want to see another Canelo slick ass black Cuban fighter. I'm sorry, Cuban fighter. It's bad, bro. It's bad. Which was more impressive, Foreman KOing Moore or Holmes outboxing Mercer? Foreman KOing Moore. Yeah, of course. Because that was an upset, bro. That was an upset. What I've been seeing is you can't go up in weight and go back down and have success. Ex-con, exactly. That's stupid. That's why I'm looking at Alexander Usyk like, what are you doing, dummy? Are you stupid or what? Why would you go? You've already been there. You've got every single belt from there. Everyone. You're a undisputed cruiserweight champion in a 4-belt era. So it would be different if he had 3 belts and then now it's 4 and he wants to come back down and unify all 4 because he once had 3. No, he was there and he was in a 4-belt era. Now he goes to heavyweight and becomes the same thing. And now he's talking about going back to cruiserweight. I don't like that at all. So if somebody like Beterbiev moves up to cruiser and they fight and he knocks out Usyk, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say I didn't warn you. Usyk should have just retired instead of going back down and wait. He should just retire, but who says he will? He may still like the sport. If he still likes the sport, well, then fight other fighters. McCall, Zhang, Parker. You got a lot of fighters you can fight at heavyweight. Ruiz. You can fight a lot of fighters at heavyweight. Okay? What's your thoughts on Eubank Jr.? I honestly don't know if I think Eubank is I think he's better than most fighters that he knows. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if Roy has actually taught him anything that helped him. Because you've had him, you've had Jamal now training with John. Look, there can only be one Roy Jones Jr. There can only be one. Can't be 3 or 4, can't be. You know what I mean? I don't like the whole, hey, do this, the chicken, do y'all act like me and move like me and do what I do. And no, bro, I don't like that at all. I think Roy is making clones out of his own style and shit. I think it's honestly, I think it's kind of arrogant and I think it's unwarranted. I don't think there's a need for that. I think, he's missing the ball with that, honestly. Just realistically speaking, man, I mean, I love Roy. People know I love Roy Jones, but I think he's doing the wrong thing. I think he's making the wrong decision by trying to make Jamal fight like him. You know what I mean? Almost like, hey, I want you to do the Jersey Walcott. Can you do the Jersey Walcott? You know what I mean? I don't think it fits them. I don't think it fits those guys. Those guys don't move like Roy. They're not built like Roy. You know what I mean? Roy was Roy for a reason. Chris Eubank Jr. ain't Roy. Jamal Charlo ain't Roy. Ruiz's hands has to heal, and he needs to rebuild his profile instead of building up his snack bar. I believe Fury tricked off that Usyk fight. He can really beat that man. I believe Fury tricked off that Usyk fight. He can really beat that man. We'll see. And if he really can, he's going to show us December 23rd now, won't he? Beterbiev is actually not interested in an Usyk fight. Yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is. You think he ain't? Oh, yes, he is. He's interested in an Usyk fight. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you right there, X-Con. I thought Usyk would continue to pad out his heavyweight stats, but because he hasn't really put on permanent heavyweight type weight, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he has. I think he's filled in for the most part now. He's with Bowe now, though. Good. Who are we talking about? Chris Eubank? Good. I heard the Liam Smith fight was canceled. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Beterbiev wants all the smoke. Beterbiev said it out of his mouth. Why I typed that, Kurt. I think that he wants that fight because he said that I know how to beat Alexander Usyk if I fought him. And, in fact, he mentioned recently that after the Bivol fight, he wants to move up. So if he moves up and Usyk fucks around and moves down, oh, yeah. I would love to see that fight. You know, those are late 30 guys, but those Eastern European guys, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't party like that. You know, they live, or they can perform, should I say. I don't know about live, but they can perform longer at a certain level because of their lifestyle or the lack of things that they do. You know? The same reason why Cuban boxers are arrogant is why British boxing makes American boxing look second class. All right. Smooth Will. Kurt, I heard the Olympic Committee was consisting giving Jones his well-deserved 1988 gold medal, righting the wrong. Have you heard this? I haven't, but they should, and they should do the same for Floyd Mayweather too. Because Floyd beat that guy. He beat that guy bad. They know that. I love to see Beterbiev come and clean out the cruiserweight division. That would be boss, bro. Beterbiev Usyk is the absolute best that could be made. Yeah. 2 undefeated fighters. Imagine that. Bro, Beterbiev, you know Turkey Turkey will throw some money at that fight. He'll probably give him 25 million apiece, 30 million apiece. You know, probably give Usyk 40 million and probably give Beterbiev 20. I see Jai beating Beterbiev. Only if Beterbiev is over the hill. That ticking clock, bro. If that ticking clock runs out, yeah, Jai will get him. But I don't think Jai will get him right. Like in Beterbiev, and no, I don't think, because like Jai is a guy, he has fast hands, but he cannot handle pressure good well. He's a hard puncher, but he can't handle pressure well. You know, and the type of pressure that Beterbiev gives on you, I'm gonna watch a Beterbiev fight. I love that last fight he did with Smith, bro. And Smith is an absolute monster. You know what he did with Castillo, or is it Castillo? Yeah, Castillo. You favor Usyk. I mean, Usyk's beat him twice already, so Usyk knows him. He knows Usyk. I think though, when they fight pros, I think Beterbiev knows I could bust this dude's stomach, rib cage. I could break his body down. And then he bringing his ass from heavyweight too. He may be a little weaker. Bro. Yeah. No one is beating Beterbiev. Beterbiev is the ultimate pressure fighter. Benavidez versus Beterbiev would have been epic. Yeah, that would have been epic because Benavidez is now heavyweight now, right? But yeah, Benavidez, that would have been dope. That would have been dope, bro. Yeah, Benavidez, bro, you know, and that was a tough fight when he fought Jai Apataya. He broke Jai Apataya's jaw, bro. So you can't say Jai Apataya is a bitch. He ain't no bitch. He took those shots. His jaw. And you could tell it was broke. You're like, what's wrong with this dude? You know what I mean? But he wouldn't, somebody else, right? Victor Ortiz, he would have quit. Because he did quit. Danny Dubois, quit. Beterbiev murdered Smith. Usyk, a different animal now, though. Now look at Chisora fighting the Fury fight. All Beterbiev wins being by KO is understand how insane that is. Understand the mentality. When I think of Artur Beterbiev, I think of his mentality is like, look, it's kill or bust. I'm going to knock you out or else. There is no other option. You're getting terminated. I'm not reasoning with you. I'm not bargaining with you. I'm going to pressure you until you quit, or I make people make you quit, or the referee makes me stop beating you, or you stop me from beating you. You bend the knee, or I'm going to knock you out. Right? Knock you down so many times that you're going to see a white flag, a referee, or by your own admission. You're going out because I'm going to take you where you need to be. You're not going to finish. A guy like that, bro. No, man. Beterbiev straight up stopping dudes. That's what he does. That dude is, you look at Beterbiev, bro. Beterbiev's like, yes, I kill you. Yes, I want another belt. And yeah, I want another belt. And he knows what this, man. He knows what. Dude's a straight killer. Yeah, he's like Khabib Nurmagomedov. Him and Khabib Nurmagomedov talking about what they do to people. In the name of Allah. Alhamdulillah, I did this to him. Yes, I hit him hard. I know I hate him. Alhamdulillah, I beat him. Inshallah, he fell down. Yeah, bro. They're from that same area. No doubt about it. Can you imagine Turkey asked Jai if he could make 168 to fight Canelo? That would be dumb, bro. Bro, that would be wrong. And you know what? Canelo would take it too. Sí, señor. Yo quiero pelear con él. ¿Por qué no? Ya es batalla muy grande, ¿no? Sí. ¿Y quiere pelear conmigo? Sí. ¿Por qué no? He knows. I was playing Winner Stays on in the heavyweight, and Lennox was staying on until Larry Holmes was introduced. Couldn't decide. What do you think? Yeah, Hagler versus Mugabe was a straight shootout. Yeah, that was crazy. Bro, that's a classic fight, bro. Mugabe versus Hagler? What? See, real people are still on right now, man. We still got the real heads in now. Bradis was Vital's main sparring partner. Or is it Vitali's? Vitali's main sparring partner and KO Char at heavy. Akali and Dale turned him down. I think he'd KO Artur. Maybe. Bradis is a tough sucker, bro. Oh, Isaac, Kurt, who do you think is the current most dangerous heavyweight? Caballero? Zhang and Bakali. I mean, you asked me about one, but probably Caballero because Caballero's the youngest. Well, no, is he? I don't know. AJ, I don't know. AJ's, see, here's the thing. AJ is in another category. AJ is one of the most popular. AJ is one of the most, lucrative cash cow, But, yeah, I think it's Caballero and Bakali, bro. They're the most dangerous. You're talking about dangerous. I mean, without all that other stuff. Without all the, hey, he's a cash cow and all that stuff. No. I think the most dangerous without any other politics that's aiding them, right? Politicking, without the politicking, is Caballero and Martin Bakali. I see Usyk beating Zhang easier than Bakali. Well, Those are two hard fights, though. AJ isn't a bum. Why even consider that? AJ is too big. Caballero is a future world champion, in my opinion. Yeah, if he stays fighting, if he stays in it, if he stays in the game, if he stays promoted right, because again, where the hell has he been? I mean, since he's starched and took out Frank Sanchez, where has he been? This is the last quarter of the year we're coming up on. We ain't heard nothing from Caballero yet. So what's the deal? You got to ask yourself about, and have to really start questioning these fighters, promoters, and what they're really doing for them. Are they motivating them? Are they getting stuff done for them? They're not, because we would have heard something about Caballero since then. It's been a big void. Who's promoting Caballero? Skrilla 50. That's a very good question. Obviously, ain't nobody that we know of. Probably Universum or someplace, that same chicken shit bullshit promotional company. Maybe K2, I'm not sure, but Universum was that company that promoted Triple G and didn't get him nothing. He didn't get him he didn't get him no fights. Triple G's supposed to fight so many people. Sergio Martinez. What's the guy that beat Oscar De La Hoya and they robbed him from Germany? What's that guy's name that boxed De La Hoya's ass off at 160? I forget his name right now. Stern. Now, Felix Stern. He's supposed to fight Felix Stern. He's supposed to fight he's supposed to fight Felix Stern. He's supposed to fight what's the Russian guy's name that knocked out Danny Jacobs? Dmitry Pitrog. He didn't get that. He didn't get the fight with those two fights. It was supposed to be on the table. He couldn't get them. They didn't get him for him. McCall putting someone to sleep if they fight that man. So yeah, man, dude, like for real. Triple G versus Ward and Mayweather. Triple G ducked Mel and Andrade. Yeah, Triple G did some bullshit though. After he fought Canelo, Triple G did change. His whole idea, his whole identity, his whole behavior, everything changed in Triple G, which I didn't like. He turned into a diva. No, not guys, there's no fight. No. He could have been, listen, since it was a draw, he could have been because he already had the WBC belt. He got that from Canelo because, remember, it was stripped from him or he dropped it, whichever. He had the WBC. The only belt that he needed to become an undisputed middleweight champion was the IBF. And I'll be damned, the bastard allowed, what's his name? What's this guy's name? What's the Ukrainian fighter that he fought that he hurt him to the stomach? Yeah, but he had a fight, or they were trying to negotiate a fight with Pitrug before all that happened. And Golovkin couldn't get a fight with him because it's a shitty promotional company. Damn, I forget his name. But anyway, it's crazy. It's crazy. Money turns the hungriest fighters into divas, Ruiz and Triple G. Yeah, Deverinchenko. Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Dark Kent. Deverinchenko filed, a complaint to the IBF, and they stripped Golovkin because Golovkin should have fought that man. And they stripped because he was the he was the guy. He was the mandatory. So he should have fought him. He fought him anyway. He lost that damn rematch, chasing that money from Canelo. Chasing Canelo. I want Canelo. Why? You already seen what they did to you the first time, you dummy. Gilbert Godfrey. Yeah, turned into a diva, bro. His whole thing was, no, I want to be middleweight, super undisputed middleweight champion. I want champion. I want drama show. You remember that? He fought Canelo one time. He didn't give a shit about none of that no more. I want Canelo. That $2 to $3 million was different from $20 million. This dude was endorsed by Air Jordan, for Christ's sake. But anyway, man, it's crazy. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Once Sanchez was gone, Triple G's dog was... Well, no, he didn't leave right away. Golovkin got a deal with DAZN as well when DAZN was just giving out money, like Turkey kind of was and is now. And after he secured the deal, then he left Abel Sanchez because he didn't want to give Abel Sanchez a percentage of that money that he made, which I think was some bitch shit. Oh, it was some bitch shit, people. That was wrong. That was so wrong. You know what I mean? You know how wrong that really was. You know, Gilbert Godfrey, I'm done. You know, a dude look like Gilbert Godfrey, man. Nah, guys, nah, guys. And he was my boy. Triple G was my boy because he was just destroying people. Look. Okay, let me tell you how that was. If you guys weren't around then, let me tell you how boxing was then. 2016, 2015, 16. Golovkin, Triple G was destroying people. Gennady, Triple G, Golovkin. Gennady Gayayevich Golovkin was destroying people. He had people running. Look, the Chris Eubanks, the Billy Joe Saunders, undefeated. Chris Eubank, undefeated. Billy Joe Saunders, undefeated until they fought each other. Then you had guys like the Chocolate Peter Quillen, undefeated. Who else was there? You had David Lemieux. You had somebody else. You had Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. there at 154. You had Sergio Martinez there. You had so many guys there, and all of them walked. When Golovkin came on the scene, he made them all spread out and scatter like roaches. Oh, yeah. None of them wanted to fight Triple G. None of them. Yeah, Spence Stiff James. Yeah, well, money changes people, bro. Money reveals people, honestly. He took that one fighter's face off, dude. He was destroying guys. David Lemieux, Curtis Stevenson, Mac the Knife, Anthony Macklin, I think it is. Willie Monroe. He took him out in crazy fashion. He knocked out a lot of people, bro. I mean, he took a lot of people out, and he showed how dangerous he was, and people didn't want none of that. Cotto was like, you know what? Fuck that belt. I ain't fighting him. They asked Cotto, they say, Cotto, are you ready for Golovkin? He didn't want none of that, bro. No, bro. He didn't want none of that. Scatter like Dragon Balls after making a wish. Yep. And people couldn't hurt him, which it made it worse. Yeah, you just got pissed. Look at what happened to poor old Kell Brook. I'm going to show him my chocolate brownies. I'm going to show you my chocolate brownies, yeah? And then, dude, he hit Golovkin and pissed him off. And, Kell, needless to say, looked good, bro. He looked good at that weight. What's your thoughts on American cat Brandon Glanton? It seems like a tough as boots cruiser. Brandon Glanton, that's that cat out of Atlanta that they couldn't make the fight with, right? I hope he gets his opportunity. But I do think, it's a lot more than people know of that situation. Triple G took Rosado's face off. Yeah, he had Rosado so bloody, bro. That looked like a St. Valentine's Philadelphia massacre. But it just credit to Gabe Rosado. Gabe was a lot tougher than people give him credit. Gabe is light-skinned. He's a light-skinned Puerto Rican. He's a fair-skinned Puerto Rican that has thin skin. Okay, his skin can't take the punches. He has that Arturo Gatti, that Vladimir Klitschko type skin that cuts easy. It's delicate. So, leather acquiring to those, it's going to cause abrasions. Mavana Sylvester, what up, Kurt? Morning in South Africa. I want to ask a different matter. How does AJ contract with DAZN $100 million a year work? If Turkey offers him the flat fee aside, does DAZN add on top of that? Mavana Sylvester, that's something you're going to have to ask Eddie Hearn, bro. I don't know. That's a very good question, though. Bars. Shout out to South Africa in the building. I like how you said it, Africa, with the K-A. T-I-A, Morapoca. Pitrog was the guy that knocked out Daniel Dubois. I know. I know that. Okay. Kurt, in your honest opinion, why do you believe a fighter would fear another fighter? They both go the same thing, fight for a living. I never understood that. Because we're human and people see what other people, look, when you're looking at another fighter being a fighter, you're seeing what damage that fighter does to that guy. You know what I mean? And you look, if you see a guy knock someone spark out, you do have to put yourself in that guy. If you have any kind of sense of sympathy, you know what I mean? Or empathy, like, oof, damn, that dude got knocked out. Woo. You know what I mean? You have to do that. Honestly, I think the Argoa one. You think Berlanga is deeply closeted? Dude, I don't know anything about that. I don't think about any of that stuff, what they and who they sleep with. Even Mike Tyson, as feared as he was scared before his fights. You know. Bro, he said it. He's like, dude, yeah, I was scared. I was scared. I was a scared baby. I was a scared child. I was a scared little bitch. No bitch, but watching George Foreman KO Frazier would scare me. Dude, you wouldn't want to get hit like that especially if you know what it's like to get hit. Maybe you don't fathom that idea because maybe you never got hit like that. If you've never got hit and knocked out, if you never got knocked out, you don't know. You wouldn't know. Brian Jennings made a comeback the other week. Any hope for him? Brian Jennings. Brian Jennings. Yeah, he was been off for like 5 years. Brian Jennings, he's a short heavyweight. I think it depends on who he fights, because, he's already got beat by guys like Luis Ortiz, Oscar Rivas. Stay away from those guys because those guys will, make you retire again. He made Frazier raise up and jump before he fell. I remember when George Foreman did that, man. George Foreman hit it, BAM! But yeah, that was funny, man. He beat up Frazier. Bad, bro. Jennings fought Klitschko. He did what he could, but that's against a bigger heavyweight. See, guys like him fighting Joshua and guys like that he's not going to go. That's not going to go well for him. Him fighting guys like maybe Jermaine Franklin would be good. I don't know about Jermaine and Jared Anderson. Not sure about him. I don't know. See, some fighters and the styles, I think it depends on who they choose. Jennings, yeah. So, Joyce beat him too. So, yeah. Yeah, but again, Joyce is a bigger heavyweight, even though he's slow and awkward and whatever. But it is what it is, you know? Joyce is done. Well, Joyce is now in a different, and it's just crazy what a year does to your career. What a year does to your career. You know what I mean? Boxing is so fickle. It is so fickle. It's fecal. You know what I mean? Seriously. Foreman or Wilder hits harder. Foreman overall, Wilder with one punch. Or that's how it used to be anyway. Foreman just could hit you with body punches, chopping left hooks, overhand right hands, uppercuts. He was a more of a complete fighter or a complete powerhouse fighter. Damn, just a year, bro. And Joe Joyce is just like, who? Joe who? It's crazy, man. I feel bad for Joe Joyce because I like him, But then here's the thing. Maybe Joe Joyce, based on the amount of times he got hit, if you really listen to Joe, like, I think I should go and fight, and I think I could get another fight, and like I think I had a good run. I think I have a couple more fights. It almost seems like he may have been suffering from some damage. His speech ain't looking like, maybe I just need to go back and listen to him earlier because maybe he may sound like that. But if he's clear, if he doesn't sound all groggy and shit like that, well, yeah. He's just like a big kid. He's like, yeah, I just don't want to get hit with those punches. With Wilder, I don't want to get hit with them, but I think I'll have to take them. You know. Shout out to Joe Joyce, man. We love you, boy. But anyway, hey guys, I gotta jump off of here. I gotta get ready for this audition for tomorrow that I am going to nail. But you guys, thank you guys for coming on to enjoy the reflections of last night. You guys be blessed. We will be back Monday. Live streams much. So there's more live streams in the mix these days. Of course, lack of work or not working as of right now. So you guys be blessed, be safe, and I will see you next week. Peace.